listening to ProveText, a GlossaHouse podcast by Dr. T. Michael W. Halcomb, Dr. Frederick J. Long, Dr. Mario Melendez, Dr. Jennifer Noonan, and J. M. Smith. Welcome and enjoy.
Hello, friends. I am Dr. Michael Halcomb, and I want to welcome you to our ProveText YouTube page or our YouTube channel. Now, ProveText is at present a podcast that releases 2 times a day, believe it or not. We have an excellent lineup of scholars and an incredible lineup of content. So as far as the people who are making this podcast happen go, it's me, Dr. Frederick J. Long, Dr. Mario Melendez, Dr. Jennifer Noonan, and the sensei himself, J. M. Smith. And we're also getting some help from my daughter, Lydia Halcomb, who is a key player in making these podcasts come to life. So on the podcast page here on the channel, what you're going to find are essentially, again, at present, 10 different episodes or episode types. So on Monday, for example, we'll have an episode I do called 3 Things, where I just share with you 3 things that I'm thinking about, sometimes Bible or scripture related, sometimes not. Also on Mondays, Dr. Jennifer Noonan shares her SLA Insights of the Week, which is an excellent series within the ProveText podcast. And then on Tuesdays, we have a Greek vocabulary, and that's where we're attempting to offer ways to grow your Greek vocabulary 1 word at a time. And also on that day, I do something called a fallacy of the week, where I look at a social media post or a meme or something like that and try to interrogate the fallacies and pick out the fallacies within it so we can really make sense of it. A lot of people derive their theology, believe it or not, from sound bites and memes these days. So we want to understand what's going on with memes. We also have, typically on Wednesdays, we'll have a Greek reading of a New Testament passage, usually. And then Dr. Fred Long does a video of his Greek markup, his constituent marking method, where he breaks down just word by word and piece by piece a Greek verse. On Thursdays, we usually have a Hebrew vocabulary, and that's very similar to as the counterpart of the Greek vocabulary. And then we'll have a section I do with J. M. Smith of Disciple Dojo that's called 10 Questions, where we just I'll spring a passage on him from the Old or New Testament, and we'll look at it and ask 10 questions of it. Essentially, we're just interrogating Scripture together and coming to Scripture with like our curiosity lenses on. On Fridays, we have a Hebrew reading. And right now, reading through Jonah, but other parts of the Old Testament will come onto the scene later, come into view later. We also have Dr. Mario Melendez on Fridays, who is doing a series called What's in a Name, where he's looking at all kinds of names throughout the Old Testament and what do they signify, how do they fit within the narrative of a certain book or even the wider Old Testament story. Pretty awesome series he's got going on. Then on Saturdays, Fred Long and I do a grammar point episode where we talk about specific points of grammar. And also, we will have our long-form ProveText video. And we've been working through Galatians for over a year, maybe close to 2, I don't know. But once we're done with that, we'll move on to something else. And those are great, pretty long episodes, usually, from anywhere from 40 to 60 minutes. And then finally on Sundays, we have an original spoken word. I'm doing those. They're based usually on a psalm. It's sort of a modern rendition of a psalm. And then also on Sundays, Fred Long will do his Greek Matters episode, where he looks at a passage in the New Testament in Greek and just does a really close-up, in-depth analysis of it. There's probably hundreds, if not thousands of hours of free content right here on the ProveText channel. And once you're done looking through here, make sure you subscribe and share this with people. And after you've done that, head over to GlossaHouse.com and subscribe to our newsletter and check out our resources There's tons of great stuff over there as well. So I'm going to stop there. I invite you to look around the YouTube channel we have and the GlossaHouse website. All right, y'all. I hope that helps.
Interested in growing your ancient language skills but not sure where to start? GlossaHouse can help. From illustrated readers and short stories to lexicons and grammars, GlossaHouse offers a variety of resources for beginning, intermediate, and experienced ancient language learners. Head to glossahouse.com today. GlossaHouse, language resources for the